When we find the core four of the movie, they they've moved to Washington D.C. Columbus tells us that Tallahassee is a theory: go big or go home, and so they go to the biggest home they can find, the White House, which is a really fun place to kind of situate them and see this unique opportunity that could only exist in a post-apocalyptic world. They've kind of made the White House their own home, so they've, it doesn't look how we've always seen it. It has like their furniture. They've taken, masterworks from the Smithsonian and covered the walls with Van Goghs and Herrings and other, famous paintings. And they're living together happily as a family. Although there's some cracks kind of underneath the surface, and Wichita, who's always been kind of a rolling stone that gathers no moss, is having trouble adjusting to this more domestic life. Jesse's dream is just to have a home and be together, and that's all he kind of wants. But she's feeling a need to leave, and at the same time, Tallahassee's become this kind of overbearing father figure to Little Rock, who is no longer a 12-year-old and is now 22 and is kind of sick of just hanging out with old people and wants to find some friends her own age. Probably my favorite sequence in the film is that sequence where they meet Luke Wilson and Thomas Middleditch, who we cast because they bear sort of a resemblance to Jesse and Woody. Luke just came in guns blazing, so funny. He had really, thought a lot about the character and wanted to do kind of like a nod to Woody Harrelson, but not completely, just do a parody of him or like an imitation. So he's like his own kind of macho cowboy guy. And then Thomas Middleditch, I think we cast in part because he and Jesse have a similar comic energy, that neurotic kind of nervous, but also very, very funny. Having an amazing script as a starting point is always where you want to be, and the script was amazing. So I always feel really lucky if we just shot the script, I know that the movie would be good because it's so strong. But when you have performers like Jesse and Emma and Woody and Thomas Middleditch and Luke Wilson and Rosario and Abigail, they can elevate the material because they're incredible improvisers. They have amazing instincts as performers. And so I'll always shoot the script as written, but then indulge whatever the actors want to add, whether it's their own ideas. Sometimes I pitch jokes, but my jokes aren't usually very funny. But they just bring so much to it. And then like we were talking about, they all have a really close relationship off camera. And I think that informs it as well. Like there is this natural feeling they really are a family, but when you have 10 years of history of friendship between the actors, that can't help but inform the characters. The fact that, they're all friends allows for that chemistry and that shared history that it feels like the characters really have that same 10-year history too. And so that's one of the just amazing things of bringing us all back together, is to be able to have them inform the script and inform the characters with their own experience. And like I said, these are world-class improvisers, like some of the funniest people literally in the world: Jesse, Emma, Woody, Thomas, Luke, Rosario. And so they just build off what we have and just make it better than even what's on the page.